Thank you for taking the time to visit our presentation to learn more about the Brownfield Comprehensive Plan. Our intent is to explain the purpose of the plan, the process used to develop it, and then talk a little bit about next steps. What is a comprehensive plan and why do we need one? Comprehensive plan is a planning document intended to be a guide for communities when making policy and land use decisions over a 10 to 15 year period. The whole planning process is an opportunity for our community to come together, look at where we are, and plan for where we'd like to be. What a comprehensive plan is not, it's not a rule, statute, or ordinance. Certain recommendations can be proposed to the Select Board, the Planning Board, or other town-appointed groups for approval. Others would have to be adopted at town meeting before they would go into effect. It does not commit the town to expending any resources, does not mandate anything. Any proposed expenditures would have to go through the normal budget process. Many must have to be approved by voters at town meeting. There is a rumor circulating the Brownfield taxes increased this year because of the comprehensive plan, but that is false. As explained in the tax assessor letter that came with this year's taxes, there was an increase because of an error with the mill rate on last year's tax bill. The plan is just that, it's a plan. So why was writing a new plan an important thing to do? The last plan on file for Brownfield is the 1991 plan, and the contents are outdated. Comprehensive plans should be reviewed every 5 years and updated every 10. A plan is considered no longer consistent with the Maine State Growth Management Act after 12 years, and contents must be updated. The 1991 plan was actually an excellent plan, and it pledged an annual review and update. Several amendments were approved by voters in 1995. The 2022 plan provides the necessary update, with input from the population that has grown since 1991 from 1,160 to 1,631. So almost 500 new residents, and they should have a voice in town planning. The 2022 plan aligns with the Maine State Growth Management Act of 2008, and it has passed state review for consistency. It's posted on the maine.gov website as an approved town plan, and it's also posted on our town's website. Hard copies are available at town office and at the public library. At one of our information meetings, we were asked what is meant by an update. So on this slide, we provide several definitions. One is the dictionary definition. It means to make something more modern or up to date. The other definition comes right from the 1991 Comprehensive Plan, where the committee pledged that the town will continue to update and refine this comprehensive plan. New data will be added as things change in town. The population, housing, transportation, fiscal and economic information. A new survey of the public's opinions and needs will be conducted. Goals will be reviewed and refined where necessary, and implementation measures will be studied to determine their effectiveness. The Maine State Planning Office also states their expectation regarding out-of-date plans. The question has been posed, can't the State Planning Office just reaffirm our old plan? But the answer is no. Should a community choose to submit a plan to the State Planning Office, it would have to be reviewed for completeness with the current standards. Among other things, data has to be refreshed, conclusions based on that data re-examined, and implementation strategies brought up to date. Until a plan is reviewed for consistency, its status would remain unknown in the State Planning Office records. So why does the state need to approve the plan? Comprehensive plans must be aligned with the Maine State Growth Management Act of 2008 to be considered consistent with the law. A comprehensive plan approved by the state makes that municipality eligible for state grants and loans such as community block development grants. Many state grants give preference to towns with a comprehensive plan, and some, such as the community block development grants, do not consider towns who do not have a comprehensive plan. So why would this benefit Brownfield? Community block development grants have provided Maine towns with funding for community center upgrades, fire station improvements, road reconstruction, business facade improvements, downtown revitalization studies, streetscape improvements, landscaping, home repair networks, housing rehab, and adult daycare programs. And these are just a few of the examples of community block development grants. Wouldn't it be a relief to Brownfield if we'd be able to have some of our state taxes returned to the town for these important needs? Might it provide a source of revenue other than our local taxes? So how did this plan come to be? In the beginning, the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee was created in 2018 by the town selectmen to update the town's comprehensive plan from 1991. Some of the committee work was interrupted by the pandemic, and several new committee members were appointed. After 4.5 years of work, the plan was drafted. So how are the people of Brownfield offered a voice in the plan's development? Public participation included 4 surveys conducted over 5 years. Some of these were individual interviews. There was a direct mailing. We've had online and paper copies of surveys in town office. Of all of these surveys and interviewed, we had 605 responses tabulated. All of the data from all of these surveys is included in the back of the comprehensive plan. We've had open meetings with a Zoom option. Materials were distributed at town meeting in June of 2002. We're having these informational meetings and public hearings with dates to be announced for future meetings. We've also had several articles in the town newsletter, and all of these steps were advertised in the local newspaper. They were posted on the town's website and on the town marquee. So what we found from the public input was that there was a consistent message, which we then took and crafted into a vision statement that guided the plan's development. You can see that vision statement here. Our vision for the upcoming decade is to establish realistic strategies that will enable the implementation of constructive measures for maintaining the current rural atmosphere and improving the quality of life for as many Brownfield residents as possible. So using this vision statement, we offer this slide as a way to provide a little more information on the content of the complete plan. So there are required elements that the state expects to see in a comprehensive plan. The vision statement is one of them. They expect to see a section on public participation, all of which is included in our plan. Regional coordination is expected as far as how we collaborate with towns nearby. They also expect to have an implementation plan, an evaluation strategy, and a land use section. Each plan also has inventory chapters. In our plan, those are chapters 1 through 11 that describe how things currently exist in the town of Brownfield. And each of those inventory chapters also has goals and strategies included and plans for implementation. So we wanted the comprehensive plan to include historical information explaining where Brownfield has been and how we got to where we are today. So some of the chapters also illustrate where we are now. So it includes a significant amount of data that has been gathered through the research conducted by committee members and with the help of state resources. One example of the help from the state are the beginning with habitat maps that you can see in the appendix of the document. There are full color versions of those maps posted in town office and full color versions in the desk copies that are available at town office and in the public library. And then the plan also wants to focus on imagining where we might go from where we are today. So how do you envision Brownfield in the future? Our question is, what are some ideas you may also have to preserve Brownfield's character and to help to manage future growth? Town planning does not mean giving up local control. It means using local control to take charge of the future. Once the town has lost local control, it won't be the state guiding things. It will be developers and market conditions and other outside forces that determine what our town becomes. What this all means is that if we as a community don't attempt to determine our town's future, then it will be determined for us. This recent example in a local newspaper provides an illustration of how the character of a town can change dramatically over a few decades. On the slide, you see a picture of the same intersection in North Conway, Kearsarge and Main Street. The first image is what that intersection looked like around 1912. The second image shows what it looks like today. It struck me that the first image looks a little bit like what Brownfield looks like today, and I think we all agree we don't want it to turn into what that second image looks like. So what are the next steps for this plan? We will continue to have more informational sessions, as many as needed, and they will be posted on the town marquee and the town website. We'll have a public hearing required before the town vote. And the next step after that, should the plan pass, would be an implementation. But with all of this, we need you. We need your help. We need you to spread the word so that people receive accurate information, not listen to unfounded rumors. We need you to vote when the comprehensive plan comes before the town residents. We'd like you to bring a friend to that vote. We'd like you to get involved as a part of the implementation committee. Right now, we envision subcommittees for each chapter to discuss and explore recommendations and suggestions. We'd love it if you got involved in a chapter that's of particular interest to you. Possibly a steering committee to move the process forward that would work with all of these subcommittees. In 5 years, the state would be reviewing our plan to see how much progress we have made with each of the implementation strategies. So what we are hoping for is to hear from you. We'd like to hear your questions, your thoughts, and feedback. We will be setting up an email that will be available on the town website so that you can send your questions and your feedback to us. We also hope to set up a suggestion box so that if you are more comfortable just writing out your suggestions and submitting them, you'll have that option as well. We also will be having our meetings continue to be open meetings and have more informational sessions so that we can provide as much information as possible about what is in the comprehensive plan. We'd like to thank you for sitting through this presentation with us, and we hope to continue to provide more information in the future.